I'm Nick. This is Nia. If you wondered who was dumb enough to marry me, they consequently live with me, have children with me, child. We've talked about this for a while in the stream. We hadn't done anything with it. There was no music. Yes, Scuff Streamer. We hadn't done anything with it. I chewed it around all day, babe, and then I said, you know what? Today is the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had asked you this morning what you thought of it, and you said...
I said I didn't want to.
And so I came home with a time, and we went ahead and rolled. I
had no choice.
Yeah, so she thought we should plan it a little better. I said, nah, dog, we can go. So I told you a little bit about this, but it's our job, my job as your husband, to leave out half of the story in order to get you where I need you to go.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Right. So I mentioned it a little bit, sort of. This is going to be a YouTube series. These cameras, we're going to take this, we're going to put you on the internet, and we're going to roll with it.
All right.
So, little backstory here. What's up, Skate? I met my wife when I was in the Army. Classy joint. Yeah, classy joint. Nah. it's a bar. Met my wife in the bar. First time we meet, my wife decides that she wants to BFF with my ex-girlfriend.
That's not true.
It is.
It's not true.
Actually, the first time I ever saw my wife, her BFF, my ex-girlfriend, punched me in the back of the head.
Not my BFF.
She punched me in the head.
She did, but I was not there with her.
You literally were 4 feet apart.
But I was not there with her.
What
we were just in the same location at the same time.
So, okay, this is ridiculous. So, you're in the same location.
Mm-hmm.
She hits me and you flip me off.
Yeah.
But you weren't there together.
No. I was just a rowdy 21-year-old. Living life.
She was like 19.
I know. She shouldn't have been in the bar.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, that point forward, basically, I knew who she was. We, maybe we'll save that topic for another time. We saw each other and chose different parties on a couple of occasions. Both times, I think we were both let down.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I suckered her in to a Transformers DVD and then moved in shortly thereafter.
Yep.
Actually, within 20 minutes.
Sounds about right.
I've been getting my laundry done ever since. So,
Facts.
there's that. Now I'm not allowed near a washing machine.
No.
So, or dishes. We've dubbed the kitchen the office. It's just not for me. So again, like we were saying, we really wanted to do this. Really, I think it's good for us.
Yeah.
We get to talk and BS and laugh and we're gonna challenge each other to find things, some content for us to kind of react to and play with on stream here. Pretty exciting for us. All subsequently, Travis Skate's gonna help us turn this into a YouTube series. I think we're gonna do 15 to 20 minute episodes. It'll be good. But today really is just kind of an intro to kind of see how settings are, how cameras look, those types of things. Yeah, we appreciate you guys showing up, right, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I see Joey in there. The Joey, a wild Joey, is here. I don't know anybody else. So there you go. My brother's here.
I figured that was him.
So I found an article that is interesting. This at the time this information came out, it wasn't bad.
Mm-mm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think now it may be misconstrued.
Yes.
It's a little off. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring who doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, not you. I wasn't talking about you. Definitely not you. You bring the Transformers movie thing later. You're more than welcome to. We can bring it up now. Long story short, she tried to pick up line at work. She asked me if I had a movie. I said sure. I drove all the way out there to drop it off.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Well, aren't you gonna come in?" And I was like, "Let me grab my suitcase." so we're in. So this is the worst marriage advice of every decade since the 1900s. All right.
All right.
We see this. This photo is clearly from the 50s. All right. But let's jump into this. All right. This is from Redbook. I don't know that I've ever... Oh, thank you. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate that. This is from Redbook, not a site that I've ever really been to. Have you ever seen this before? Thank you, Redbook. You didn't know you were going to help us, but you are today. We'll just jump into it. In the 1900s, babe, women, your wife is a baby factory.
I mean, that's accurate for the 1900s.
But would you consider yourself a baby factory?
No.
Is that by choice?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that you don't want to mass produce children?
No.
Huh. Okay.
Do you?
No. But it's not about me.
I mean, you're part of the equation. Can't make a baby on my own.
I do most of the work.
Okay. We won't get into that.
It's at least 80-20.
Okay.
Obviously, fountain of youth and masculinity. I will roll into the next one. 1910, divorce or ignore your wife if she doesn't agree with you. I'm not totally... I mean, this is a quick way to end an argument.
Yeah.
So, should this stick around for the 2020s?
I mean, I feel like we kind of do this when we argue, though.
I don't divorce you every time we argue.
No. You ignore me. Or we just stop talking to each other when we don't agree. And then we'll come back 10 minutes later and one of us is usually like, "Are you done?" And then we move on.
Okay. This caption. If she will only listen quietly, a process that is painful to her, you may firmly, rationally, and kindly convince her she is not always in the right. I think you should save that. Save it. Just put that on your wall.
What's that saying you always say? I'm not always wrong, or...
I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong.
Yes. I feel like that reminds me of that.
Okay. We're all the 1920s. Don't drink tea and coffee because it will make you frigid. You need to probably dive into this.
Yeah.
Tea and coffee are not ordinarily considered poisons, yet their effect is unquestionably poisonous. Drinking of tea and coffee in limited quantities on the part of a woman probably has a great deal to do with what is called frigidity in women due to the health-destroying effects on the reproductive system. So, according to this, the 1920s, it doesn't matter what the 1900s thought, and it definitely doesn't matter for you because you drink coffee like a motherfucker.
Yeah. We should own a Starbucks.
I can't afford one. So this, I don't think you're wrong, Laneth. I think you might be right. I think this is horseshit. Only because accidents happen and kids still pop out whether you drink coffee or not. You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna move on to the 30s. Why did that? It's shit from a horse. -5 points for face cream. What? Developed complete with point system that allowed you to grade your husband or wife with a neat numerical score. Women could lose points for not liking children, wearing red nail polish, going to bed with curlers in her hair, or wearing face cream, and going to bed after her husband. Can you allow him to post the link? I'm not sure. I mean, I want to see the point system.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how many points you would or wouldn't get.
I'm curious as well. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to know where I fall on that.
So I'm not sure what the repercussion. Oh, that's good. I'm not sure what the repercussions of a low score are.
Yeah. I guess maybe you just don't get a husband?
Ultimately, I think it just ends in divorce. So, gentlemen, when married or with your girlfriend, go ahead and tally up the scores. If it's under 20, she gotta go. Oh, it's 1940s. If you're a woman, don't talk about your problems.
All right, then.
So, okay. Okay. Hear me out. I don't think that this is necessarily untrue, but I don't think it only applies to women. Now, all of this only applies to women in this article.
Right.
But don't you think... Good thing mine is gone. But don't you think rescind the female voting rights? God damn. My wife has so much to say. I think there's some validity to this one. And here's why. I think it's complete bullshit for us to be having an argument. And you don't do this, thank God. Thank God. Some of our friends, hope you're not here. Their wives do this shit.
Okay.
They want to tell you, the person who's mad, tell all their friends how terrible their fucking husband is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from there, they want you and all their friends to be mad at their significant others too.
Mm-hmm.
So it just creates this like toxic man-hating scenario. And I don't know if you've watched TV or anything lately. Men don't really need any extra reasons to be hated.
No.
Why were you agreeing with that?
Because.
What do you mean?
I mean, speaks for itself.
Wow. Don't bother him with petty troubles and complaints when he come home from work. Let him relax before dinner. Discuss family problems after the inner man has been satisfied.
So when I come home and tell you the Starbucks line took too long today, I should keep that to myself?
That's literally a first world problem, and no one gives two shits.
I know. You should.
Tell me why this fits. This does fit this exactly, but why does Starbucks have anything to do? What does that tell me? Tell me how that's relevant.
I mean, it's really not.
Okay, we're going to the next one.
Wow. All right.
Here you go.
Oh.
Being a wife is your career.
Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, it is a career in itself, especially if you add kids into that scenario. I read something that being a stay-at-home mom and wife is like the equivalent to 250 G's a year.
Do you know anyone who does that and actually gets those 250 G's?
No, because we don't get paid for being stay-at-home moms.
Don't you think those things should be like, there has to be like a real world comparison? Like 250 G's. Where'd they come up with that?
I mean, probably because we're like constantly moving.
walking doesn't mean that you should get paid
Not
250
that.
G's.
Like, moms don't get a chance to relax, especially stay-at-home moms.
Fair. I don't think, no, I'm probably gonna like mash buttons during this thing because I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I could not be a stay-at-home mom.
No.
For a multitude of reasons. Mostly, I identify as a man.
Mm-hmm.
But secondly, because I would probably burn the house down.
For sure.
Forget a kid in a bathtub.
Mm-hmm. The house would be a wreck.
Destroyed.
So,
I mean, I definitely think that I'm watching this with the same facial expression as Charles Norris. So I don't disagree that stay-at-home moms have tough go.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't that all fit?
I mean, I guess, but being a wife is your career. That's the only thing that you're like.
I mean, let's look at this. To be a successful wife is a career in itself, requiring, among other things, the qualities of a diplomat, a businesswoman, a good cook, a trained nurse, a school teacher, a politician, and a glamour girl. That was written by a woman. I don't know. I think now, I don't know.
I feel like in the 1950s, though, you were either a wife or you were a businesswoman. I don't feel like that's accurate
they even
for
let
the 50s.
Women have business?
No.
I don't know. We'd have to look into it. I wasn't around.
Me either.
All right, we'll go to the 60s. Sex solves domestic violence.
What?
So this is okay. So according to this article, or we're just kind of taking this at face value. Can this marriage be saved? He wrote that Sue refused to have sex after being beaten. She touched off on another almost inevitable explosion. Sue's in a bad spot.
Did you read the part where it says her husband was wrong to hit her, but ultimately it was her fault for not understanding what he needed?
Toxic masculinity at its finest. Incredible. We ran over a little bit on our time here. I think we can finish this article.
Okay.
Thou shall not nag.
I think that's possible, but you nag too.
What do you mean? I don't nag. I'm mansplaining. What do you mean?
You nag.
About what?
In like different ways, though.
Gang, 3 things I nag about.
3 things you nag about. Okay. 1, I would consider this nagging. Every night you say, "What is your plan for dinner?"
That's not nagging.
That's nagging to me. Be like, you can't come up with a plan yourself, or
I
like
say, what's
come
the
home
plan?
and be like, "Babe, let's go out to eat," or "Babe, let's just order a pizza tonight." You say, "What's your plan?" Like, it's solely my responsibility to figure out dinner.
Well, according to this article,
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Go ahead. So there's one.
Okay. Another one would be when we hire people to do the lawn instead of doing it ourselves, and you like ask me over and over and over and over and over again if I've called anybody, make an appointment for the lawn.
That's
Even
not-
though the lawn is technically your responsibility, everything outside's yours, everything inside's mine.
A couple of them survival. Okay. The third one. Because I'm going to go back and I'm going to explain these, or mansplain them, if you will.
Trying to think of another one.
You said 3. You said 3 off the top of your head.
I can't think of another one right now because I'm on the spot.
But you said 3.
I mean, you nag just as much as I do. I don't feel like I'm an awful nagger.
That's a really hard word to say.
Yeah.
Just really pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable in this platform.
I heard it after I said it.
That word being one who nags. Jeez. We're just going to skip this. First of all, I'm not nagging when I'm questioning the lawn. I'm trying not to catch an HOA fine.
I mean,
I'm watching the bank.
I get it, but your phone works just as well as mine to call the lawn people.
I don't know who the lawn people are.
They talk to me like I'm dumb because I'm a female. So
please do not spam that in the chat. Christ. 1980 says be awkward and weak.
Got the awkward part down.
I think you're not awkward. You're a fine job. You failed the test.
What?
Name 3 ways I nag.
I will. I mean, if you want, that'll be my homework. I'll come up with an entire list.
I want that list.
Okay.
I want that list for our next episode.
Okay. You got it.
Which will be Friday?
Sure.
We'll be back Friday. So come back Friday for the list of things I nag about. I'm going to come up with a list too.
Okay.
So be awkward and weak. Guys get an ego boost from your awkwardness.
Oh.
I don't.
You don't?
No. It doesn't gas the ego.
Like weak. Like weak physically or...
I don't. Be wary of an overtly aggressive gesture that might threaten his sense of masculinity.
So like if I can't open a pickle jar, does it make you feel like...
Man?
Yeah.
No. I mean, to be fair, when you put that kind of pressure on a man, like you're like, we're like, oh shit, if I don't open this pickle jar, they're getting traded in on a newer model. And that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, you
like,
better watch out.
If this clown can't open a pickle jar, I don't need him.
It's true.
I think I can open a pickle jar. Yo, welcome.
Tell the truth, never.
If you absolutely have to tell her the truth, at least wait until timing's right, and that's what deathbeds are for.
Hey.
I don't lie to you.
You don't lie. You just find a roundabout way to push the truth, I think.
The chat wants to know, have I ever opened a pickle jar for you? I literally did it the other day.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Not on the spot. What? I'll flip you off here in a second. I always tell the truth.
Sometimes.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, if you're like out golfing or you're having some drinks with your friends, and I ask like, hey, when do you think you're going to be home? You say, I'm on my way, but really you haven't even left yet.
Hey, this is not about that.
I mean, it's not honest, but it's not like...
We certainly cannot... Golf times will always take 6 to 8 hours, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always be home an hour or so after I say I'm on my way.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't lying. You're just choosing not to take the right context. I'm not good at golfing, so the point is told 6 to 8 hours, and you always have to have time for. You have to go out before. You got to get your lunch or brunch or basically booze, whatever meal, and then you've got afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
At which point I have to continue drinking after I've drank the entire time on the golf course.
Because then you'll get a headache.
Because I'll get a headache. See, you know this. Moving on. But for what it's worth, I always tell the truth.
So do I. Besides, like, clothes. You're like, is that new? I'm like, nah, I've had it. It's probably new.
2000.
That's true.
I drink Busch Light. Men are crabby, hungry, or horny. Treat them as such. Agree with everything, explain nothing, then do what is best for you. This, I mean, if you base interactions off this assumption, you're probably not terribly wrong.
Yeah, it's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most accurate one we've read.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I guess we'll conclude this article.
I think there's one more.
Oh, shit. Always act like a lady, whatever that means. If you accept out of eagerness, he will feel you are too easy and will move on to someone who makes him work harder. That's completely false. That's entirely false. Obviously, this author is whoever put this person's an idiot.
Yeah.
Jeez. Survival. Sheesh. This is bullshit. Would you agree this is bullshit? Mm-hmm. This article, this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because this person's never been to a bar.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference between 12 and 2:30 a.m.,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Survival was on a roll. He's like butter. So, babe, we have found a couple things on our first episode here.
Mm-hmm.
One, half hour feels pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoy this part.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the articles, the content. We'll continue to do that. Thanks for, thanks for participating.
You're welcome.
Thanks for everybody who showed up for this first one. This is kind of us working out the kinks. I mean, we have one microphone. We have two cameras with varying qualities. Bree, what you didn't hear, this is going to be a YouTube series. So we're going to cut this up. We're going to put out an episode. I'll link it. Don't kink on me. Christ, survival's a wild animal. We're going to cut this up. We're going to put it on YouTube. We're going to do 2 episodes a week. I think we're going to have a good time with it. And I appreciate all you guys coming. From this point, we're going to shift. Knock Gaming and myself are going to do a VOD review from our Apex play last night. I want kink. What do you mean survival? We're going to do a VOD review of our gameplay from last night. We got a tournament coming up on Saturday that we're going to play in. So we're going to go to an intermission screen, get things set up for that. If you all enjoy this and you haven't followed, please do. Please follow. Get the notification when we go live. We plan to do this Tuesday and Friday. If you guys want more, decide you want more, give us some feedback. Let us know. We'll kick it off again. Frankie, I'll get you squared away after this. Nia, thank you.
Welcome.
Chat. Nia, chat. We'll post some YouTube